I'd just like to say thank you very much to everyone here today to coming along to celebrate Victoria and Russell's wedding. It's a beautiful place that Victoria and Russell have chosen all by themselves, and they work very, very hard to make sure that all the details of today's celebration and the wedding have been so successful for all of us. Of course, a day like today is a day for thinking about our family and our friends. We think very much about Russell and Victoria and their families, and I'm very, very pleased to welcome and join with Russell's family in the celebrations today. It's also a day of great memories and of great emotions, really, thinking back over the years. As Victoria's father, I remember the moment she was born and how much I was thrilled and how much pride I had at that moment. And ever since that day, she's done nothing but thrill me and fill me with pride with everything she's done. And even then, we knew from the very word go how strong and independent a little soul she was. And I can still remember very much being very much in her control with all the family, even though none of us really knew what she was shouting at us. Looking at her now, I'm almost overwhelmed by the beautiful, intelligent, and highly successful and lovely woman she's become. And I'm so very, very proud at seeing her success and what she's delivered today. She's also, as I'm sure all of you who know her appreciate, a very loving, loyal and supportive lady who will give anything for her friends. And I was very, very pleased and extremely honoured just over a year ago when I got a phone call one evening, completely out of the blue, from Russell, who, in a very gentlemanly and quite old-fashioned way, asked me... He's after your money. He asked me to give him my permission to marry Victoria. Now, as any father of a lovely girl, I've got two lovely girls, if any of a lovely girl knows, the one thing you want for them more than anything else is for them to be happy. And I am absolutely convinced and sure that with Russell, she will be extremely happy. And therefore, I was more than delighted to give Russell my consent to marry my daughter. I was delighted to say that because I know the best men are going to have their little go at it, go later on.
Oh boy!
I've always, from the minute I met Russell, I've always liked him. I've always considered him to be a very considerate, quite quiet, but very well-mannered person. Everyone's laughing, I know. And he has a great sense of humour. He's also hard-working and supportive, and with his feet very much on the ground. I'm sure he'll be a great husband and partner for my Victoria. And as we all know, he is a wonderful dad to Frankie and Coco. And I am absolutely delighted to welcome him as my son-in-law.
Thanks, Dad.
All in all, I think that the secret to a happy marriage is to love and to be with someone you can't live without. And I'm absolutely convinced that in Victoria's and Russell's case, in Victoria's and Russell's case, they have both found somebody who they really love enough to not be able to live without. And that thrills me enormously. So I'd like to ask all of you if you could please stand and toast with me To Victoria and Russell.
Victoria and Russell.
A very happy, long and healthy marriage. Living together, laughing together and making everything that makes them happy together theirs for the rest of their lives. Victoria and Russell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Whenever I say Victoria, I say Sophie.
No, it was really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that all right?
I have just a few words to say. What time's the place shut tonight? About my son and his good fortune to have ended up with this lady who, in my opinion, has been an absolute brick wall. They've had a few ups and a few downs, but I like to put it down to, with Russell, that he was a horrible baby, a dreadful child, and an even worse teenager.
All true.
It is true, but I have to say that, much to my surprise, this young man has made his way in life, and I am so proud of what he's achieved in his life. I know that Russell has his little foibles. He can be a selfish little bugger at times, as he had a bad game of golf the other week down at Mid-Sussex, got the right hump and wouldn't wait for the presentation. I'm going home. If you want to come with me, you've got to come now. And on the way home, I had a serious chat with him with a few expletives, which I'm not normally use, being the God-fearing Christian that I am. But I think he saw the errors of his ways, and the next golf meeting will see if that's true.
Well, no, we played again and I had a drink and we stayed there for 20 minutes. And then
Yeah, but
it was socially acceptable and then we went.
But
Even though I played rubbish again.
Well, there is that, but I think I put down all of Russell's little foibles to when he was 9 months old, and myself and Helen, his mother, were living in a little place in Tunbridge, and we'd just come back from Hastings, and he had a little Moses basket, and as we were walking up the concrete drive, one of the handles broke, he fell out and banged his head on the floor. And
Oh, so it's your fault.
I'm not sure that has any bearing on the way he's turned out, but I do have my suspicions.
Yeah, I'll blame you.
But I've been lucky enough to have played a lot of sport with my son, and we've played football together. And I can remember one game when he broke his leg, and they all said to me, "Oh, you should go to hospital." I said, "Don't be silly, we've got 45 minutes to play. What can I do at the hospital?" So they carted him off to hospital, and I ended up going there after the game. And the first thing he said was, "Did we win?" Fortunately, we had won that game, yeah. He probably doesn't remember that, but...
No, I was too high.
Yeah, he was laughing at me at the time, because there's plenty of gas and air, but they were fond memories. And
at least we won.
Yeah, exactly. And we still play quite a lot of golf together, and I think we're pretty good mates. And we don't have crosswords, do we? No. Very occasionally. No. And when we do, I just have to put him straight.
When you do,
but delicately nowadays, because he's much bigger and stronger than me. But yes, I have to say, I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. I have to say that I am very proud and I'm very happy that Victoria has taken on this huge job of trying to make my son into a decent human being. And I wish her all the luck in the world. And I'm hoping for baby bear cubs sometime next year.
Steady on, steady on.
Thank you. Love you, son.
Right, I just want to say thank you to everyone coming. Thank you to Dad and Paul for the speeches. Very nice. You took it easy with me as well. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for everyone that contributed to today, especially Dad and Paul. Vicky for probably doing most of it, to be honest. All right, all of it.
Yeah. Well said. Good point, well made.
Thanks to my best men who have been best friends with me for 15 years. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it at that because I think I'm going to get a barrage in a minute because at their weddings I probably wasn't very supportive, but that's just me because I can be like that. Thank you to the bridesmaids for looking absolutely ravishing, and I can't wait to have a little cuddle with them later. And I'm sure the best men are feeling the same. I'm looking at Sam. And then finally, thank you to Victoria for marrying me. She has improved me immensely since I met her. And that's not lying.
No, it isn't.
No, I am a much better person.
You are.
She taught me to cook, and now I can cook better than her. She might not like to admit that. I didn't have much of a career when I first met her, and now I really enjoy my career, and I think I've done really well for myself considering how well I didn't do at school. Well, me and Adam know what sort of school we went to, and Tim. It wasn't a very good school, and the teachers didn't want to teach us, and we didn't learn. So, considering what happened to me at school, I'm proud of what she endeavoured me to do to get there. And please, can I ask everyone to raise a glass to me and Victoria for our wedding?
Russell and Victoria.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and fellow canines. I'm sure you are all wondering where Russell and Victoria's children are tonight. Well, here we are.
I missed them.
My name is Frankie, and for tonight only, I'm Coco. We thought we would would use these disguises, as Russ loves his dog so much, he wouldn't get mad at them whatever we say. And if we feel like humping anyone's leg later, especially the brides, the worst we're going to get is sent to our bed with a smacked arse. Get in your bed. Get in your bed. I mean, Victoria, would anyone out there not hump her leg? I might. And maybe one or two of the bridesmaids as well. But I think you'll agree, Victoria looks stunning, and the bridesmaids too look absolutely amazing. So it's a round of applause, please, for Victoria and the bridesmaids. Look amazing. And if we could have a quick toast, Adam. You go there, mate. You just need that. It's doing your thunder, mate. You go for it. It's been a challenging to write a speech for Russ. Although he is a great friend, every up has its down, and Russ, you can be just like Thrush. Very bloody irritating.
Charming.
For example, he'd be the first one there on your birthday with shots, not to be a friend or mate and buy you a drink, but to do it properly and turn you into a dribbling mess. Whilst taking photos and videos for evidence, as only a true mate would. But we're not sure if Russ even has a birthday, as we've never actually been to one of his birthdays before. Now, maybe he doesn't like a fuss. But most probably he knows we owe him and we fuck him right up. Because on his birthday he does what he does best and hides well with his cookies and milk. So Victoria and Russell, I think you both agree that your two little angels have never looked so handsome in any costume you've ever dressed them up in. They definitely wear well on a taller man, eh? But blue and grey don't really sit that well together, so it's a good job we've got a bit of pink there to break up the grey from your head. Yeah. Your grey head! Page 2. So, the old Russell could never have afforded to fit us out in such fine attire. From his humble beginnings, working in McDonald's, where he not only learnt the fine art of spitting in customers' burgers, but he also developed the OCD he now has for a clean kitchen.
Not just any clean, McDonald's clean.
Didn't he get a star for that when he was working there? Cleaning it?
4 stars.
One of the four, yeah. Russell doesn't really like mess, and he likes it to be known that he does all the chores around the house.
Which actually makes him more of a bitch than his dogs.
Frankie!
Go! They also attempted to teach him customer relations, which is quite ironic, as Russ is irritated by annoying people.
Which in his world is most people.
Especially drunk people who repeat themselves over and over.
You two don't do that.
Tell you what, especially drunk people who repeat themselves over and over.
What really annoys him? It's drunk people that repeat themselves over and over.
He didn't get a star for that, but he did receive his P45 for that.
But his departure from fast food retail allowed him to branch out into what Blur would call park life.
Part life being a groundsman.
His job role entitled him to cutting grass, marking out cricket pitches, telling kids, no, can't have your ball back, it's mine now.
He was good at that.
He was. Grumpy old git.
And on
Really exciting days. Don't fuck up now, mate. Fuck's sake, we practiced this long and hard.
And on really exciting days, picking up used needles and dog poo. Not Frankie and Coco, though.
But where he really exceeded himself was in his beloved park keeper's hut. Sleeping, eating cookies, drinking milk, and entertaining himself while watching adult programmes.
Once or twice. From his humble beginning in the kitchen to the brand new BMW and well paid selling fire extinguishers and flogging fire blankets.
Now look at him now. You'd never guess that in his youth he was a bit of a scallywag, and he enjoyed a bit of a punch-up from time to time.
Which is a good thing, because looking at Victoria today, he is definitely punching above his weight.
He's really turned things around. So why he's had to ask us to pay 25 quid each for these shoes that we're wearing, I don't know.
Maybe he just didn't meet his targets last month.
I'm sorry to break it to you, Victoria. You're not actually going to Malaysia on your honeymoon. You're going to Middlesbrough instead. Hastings. Oh, well, lovely.
Right. So on to sports. Russell has a passion for many sporting activities, including
Football,
golf,
cricket,
being a massive pervert,
and more recently on our stag do, bit embarrassed to say this, hill walking. In fact, when it comes to...
Mount Snowdon. I love it.
Yeah, it wasn't a hill, it was Mount Snowdon. When it comes to sport, he is a bit of a tradesman.
jack of all and master at none.
If only you could actually get fit at playing FIFA on the PlayStation, you'd be as fit as your old idol in his heyday, Roy Keane.
But never as fit as our idol and Roy's nemesis, the mighty Vieira.
Vieira!
Oh! Right, OK, we'd like to wrap it up now and congratulate the happy couple and wish them every happiness. But just before we do, Victoria and Russell, I would like you just to turn and face each other, please.
If you wouldn't mind doing this.
Just, come on.
Victoria and Russell, now I know that you are looking into the eyes of the person who statistically is most likely to murder you. Good luck. To the bride and groom! Yeah, to the bride and groom. Cheers. Speech over. God, that's over. Well done, mate. Well done.